Coming up on today's episode, we break down another highly anticipated horror movie, the one, the only, the very weird, Cuckoo. Stay tuned. Welcome to Scary World, where we walk you through the latest and greatest in the world of horror. I am your host, Arturo Padilla.
Hi.
For those of you just joining us, don't forget to subscribe up above and say what's up down below. We have one major rule around here, folks. No spoilers. Now that we got that out of the way, there are 5 categories: production, story, ensemble, horror, and legacy. Each category can score the maximum of 2 points.
Showtime.
Per IMDb, the synopsis goes, a 17-year-old girl is forced to move with her family to a resort where things are not what they seem. Tillman Singer directed Cuckoo. Singer also directed the very intriguing 2018 film Loose. This film looks great, folks.
How was your journey?
Very pleasant, thank you.
Good.
Gretchen, come say hi.
What's up?
Singer was able to successfully capture the beauty and the isolation of the setting with every shot. Everything is framed and composed very nicely. The sound design is crucial to the overall production and helps elevate the entire movie. Every stage of the production was executed at a high level and led to a visually pleasing film. I really dug the overall look of this movie. From the very first scene, you get a nice sense of artistry and vision behind the camera. I really think Singer did a great job executing all of the looks in this movie. Like I said before, the sound design was awesome as well. It was super important to the story, and I think it helps elevate the horror in this movie, which is super important. As we keep breaking down this movie, we'll continue talking about that. But in terms of the look of this movie, the production of this movie, the way it sounded, the overall just gorgeousness of every shot, everything was just executed very well here. And for all the hard work done behind the camera, executing the vision that he had when he set upon writing this movie, Cuckoo gets a 2 for production. I really loved how this movie looked. It's set in the Alps and it just takes full advantage of that setting completely. And there's something very eerie about it at night. There's something very eerie about it in the daytime. And I think that is all because the keen eye that Tillman showcased behind the camera. Tillman Singer also wrote the story and the script for Cuckoo. This story is downright weird.
You look like you don't belong here.
Why is there nobody working the reception after 10?
But it's hard to look away. The acts are paced very well and hit all the proper beats. The dialogue is well written and flows well. The third act is excellent and I wish we had more of that sooner. That is my only thing with this story, is that once you get to the third act, you wish you were there a whole lot sooner. But that being said, there are things done in this story, a lot of great exposition that we get for the characters, and a lot of just really good things done with the acts here and the beats. But I do wish we got a little bit more action sprinkled throughout the second act in order to keep up the tension and the suspense, because this movie does a great job of just keeping you in your seat wondering what will happen next. And adding a little bit more action, I think would have helped with not the slow parts per se, but it would have helped drive the movie a little quicker in that second act. And for the awesome script that we get, and Tillman Singer's great way of writing dialogue, this movie gets a 1 for story. I really liked what we got in this script, but I wish we got some more of that good stuff that we got in the third act. And when you guys see this movie, I think you'll agree that having a little bit more of that really weird stuff thrown in throughout the early part of the second act would have benefited the entire story. The cast does a great job with their respective roles. Hunter Schafer, who plays the protagonist Gretchen, delivers An absolute gem of a performance.
Giving you the chance to be of great use in our quest for preservation.
Her emotional roller coaster is compelling and worth the price of admission alone. Dan Stevens also does a great job with his role.
Or are those molecules binding to a receptor in your nasal cavity?
He plays our antagonist and does a delightful job of being the bad guy. I love Dan Stevens and what he's been doing recently with his roles. He likes playing the bad guys. He likes playing these very character-driven, out there personas too. And I'm all here for it, and this is no different. He does a great job along with the rest of the supporting cast. They do a great job supporting Gretchen and her role because that is the story. Hunter Schafer is just awesome in this movie and absolutely anchors this film and drives it forward. And without her performance and how awesome she is, this movie would not have been the same. And that goes as well for the supporting cast. They did a great job making sure that Gretchen is spotlit, but still not completely losing their personality and their character in the background as well. And for the amazing performance of Hunter Schafer and her character Gretchen, Cuckoo gets a 2 for ensemble. I really love these characters and their dynamics and their chemistry. I really think they did a great job with the cast and casting the roles. I love how they interact with each other. I think that is one of the highlights of this movie, and I mentioned it with the script as well, how the dialogue just flows very well, and these actors are able to just chew it all up and do a great job on the screen. The blood and gore are few and far between, but they are very effective when they occur. The majority of the effects are practical and they look very good on the screen. Also, we get some gnarly body horror that enhances the story in the second act. I really liked the body horror stuff. It was very icky and really enhanced the horror elements here, but that is exactly what I wanted more of. I wanted more of these horror elements thrown into there. I think they were very effective, and if they were sprinkled more sparingly in the second act and maybe in the first act, this would have been a complete like success. But that being said, it's not a detriment at all. I think it doesn't hurt the story, but it would definitely help the story if more of these horror elements are added to it. And for the body horror that we get and the good practical that we get, Cuckoo gets a 2 for horror. I know I said that we needed more sprinkled in here, but I think the stuff we did get was so effective that it didn't matter that there wasn't more of that earlier. I am just being picky as a huge horror fan and a fan of the gross stuff, and I wanted more of that gross stuff sprinkled throughout the movie. But like I said, it didn't hurt that it wasn't there, but it could have helped it for sure. But all in all, man, this was a good movie with some good effects and some good horror stuff thrown in there. This movie was weird, but I could not stop watching it. Cuckoo looks excellent on the big screen and the performances are just inspired. I wanted more from the story, especially when discovering what's happening in the resort. But all that said, this was a really solid movie. I wanted more of the body horror sprinkled into the second act to enhance and pop the scenes more there. There is a bit of a lull there because of the exposition we get for the characters. But all in all, folks, this was a successful movie, and I think Neon finally got it right with this one. And for the awesome movie that this is, Cuckoo gets a 1 for legacy. I do wish that it had some more of that horror oomph in there, especially when you see Act 3, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. But this movie was really good, and I recommend this movie in comparison to the other stuff that Neon has put out this summer. So to tally it up, Cuckoo got a 2 for production, a 1 for story, a 2 for ensemble, a 2 for horror, and a 1 for legacy, bringing its total score up to an 8. I really enjoyed this watch, folks. It was a captivating and thrilling movie. This is why you watch movies, folks. You want to see what happens in the next scene and the next scene and the next scene and the next scene. And this is exactly what this movie was. Yes, it was weird, man. It was very weird. But I couldn't look away, as I said before. I just wanted to keep watching and finding out what happens next and trying to unfold this mystery of what the hell was going on. And I think it was a success because of that, and I highly recommend to go watch this in theaters. I thought it was a fun watch. Grab some popcorn and a soda and sit down and enjoy this one. It's a good one, folks.
Can you tell me what time it is?
And that's a wrap, folks. Thank you for watching Scary World. Don't forget to drop a comment down below and hit the thumbs up on the video. Most importantly, please do not forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel. We are dropping we are dropping spoiler-free horror movie reviews for you guys throughout the week. Plus, you can catch the official CorpseFeed podcast show, The Morgue, dropping every Tuesday on the feed as well. Go like, subscribe, and share. Give us some stars. We would really appreciate it. Once again, thank you guys for watching, for listening. We really appreciate it. And we will see you again for another episode. Remember, it's a scary world out there, but we are here to walk you through it.